If you can't see yourself, if you cannot see yourself partaking in this particular activity, business venture, or even relationship, friendship, for the next 5 to 10 years, personally, I don't think you should do it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's just your ego. You're trying to have a little bit of fun, and there's nothing wrong with fun, but I think it's a means to an end. And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the Self-Developed YouTube channel. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in the world. Beautiful sunlight. I'm here in Canada. That is where I reside. Where do you reside? Comment down below. Where are you from? What time is it? And hashtag self-developed army. So guys, straight to it. In this video, I titled it 3 Things Only High Value Men Do. Now with the rise of summer, I believe this is a topic that hits home with myself and a lot of you guys. We are on the pursuit of really just becoming high value again. If you guys follow my personal channel, I'm creating a series called Becoming the Man. And this is essentially just this, creating your own genetic or becoming your own version, high value version. Do you understand? You see guys, I need to make this very clear. The word high value, the word alpha, all of these, I guess you could say pinnacles, do you understand, are very native and instinctual just to you. Meaning there is no one be-all end-all high value man. There is no such thing as the one be-all end-all alpha. In fact, the most high value thing or alpha thing you can do is just to be unique and genuine with yourself and to maximize that, do you understand? Right? You're going to waste a lot of time trying to be someone else, right? You guys have all heard that Einstein quote, you know, if a fish judges its ability to climb a tree, it'll live its whole life believing it's an idiot, right? Well, if I'm a fish, you're a monkey, and this guy's an elephant, then we maximize on what that means to you. So I just want to preface this video with that. Anyway, straight to it, guys. Step number 1. They are in it for the long run. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I'm sure we are all aware. We are in this game for the long run. Guys, if you were starting a side hustle, a business, if you were talking to a girl, if you are working on your physique, guys, I want you to think of this as a lifelong investment. I mean it. I don't want you to think of it as a tiny fad or facade. And in fact, I really want you to ask yourself this. This has helped me. If you can't see yourself, if you cannot see yourself partaking in this particular activity, business venture, or even relationship, friendship, for the next 5 to 10 years, personally, I don't think you should do it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's just your ego. You're trying to have a little bit of fun, and there's nothing wrong with fun, but I think it's a means to an end, right? So lately I picked up boxing. This is something I've been doing on and off for multiple years. Do I see myself doing it for multiple years? My entire life. Same with fitness. Maybe this is meal prepping for you. Maybe this is a particular style of early rising, something I'm trying to get better at, right guys? Now we all have our individual tasks or doings that we want to partake in, but I would really advise you to ask yourself before partaking in anything, as I'm looking down at books, right? Reading. Are you in this for the long run? Because if you are, then you'll be okay, right? If progress is slow, right? Maybe you forget reading for a couple weeks, you forget boxing for a couple weeks, right? The business, that's okay, because you understand you're in it for the long run. It's going to be there. It's not moving. Do you understand? That gives you that longevity, and that really frames you up for step or tip number 2. Number 2, guys, the second thing I believe all high value men do, and again, this is native to yourself. I want you to apply these 3 steps and tips to your own life. There is no one be-all end-all high value man. I need to make that very clear. You prioritize your goals over woman. Now, if that triggered some of you guys, or maybe ruffled some feathers or made you laugh, you know, David, what do you mean by that? No, that's exactly what I mean. You prioritize your goals, which is number 1, the long run, over short-term pleasures. Do you understand? Now, I'm going to categorize woman in the realm of femininity. And this can be addiction, this can be partying, this can be drugs, this can be alcohol. This is anything that is effeminate based on an addictive personality to pleasure. Now, there is nothing wrong with pleasure. There's nothing wrong with women. There's nothing wrong with parties in and of themselves. Dude, when this whole COVID thing passes, man, I'm probably going to go to quite a few parties. I'm going to live it up and have fun. That in and of itself is fine. But, do you have something greater and long-term to come back to? Do you understand? This is why I prefaced it number 1 with, you have long-term goals. You're in this shit for the long run. And if you do, then that's fine. Similar to a diet, you know, guys, I just got off a 5-week shred. I lost around 10 pounds and it was great. There's nothing wrong with me having the pizza here or there. There's nothing wrong with me having, I don't know, that sugary cereal here and there. As long as I have something to come back to. I love that. As long as you have your meat and potatoes, your meal prep, your base, back to what you're doing. You know, what comes to mind is Paulo Coelho. I always bash that name. Paulo Coelho, the alchemist. Right? Now, I haven't read the book, but I'm familiar with the concept, so some of you guys can quote me on this. Essentially, in the story, the main character protagonist is supposed to balance on a spoon, right, in his mouth, 2 drops of oil, okay? And now he's supposed to balance on the spoon 2 drops of oil while walking around a beautiful garden. Got the tea. That's kind of like balancing oil, man. You drop that on you, that's gonna hurt. That's like freshly brewed, man. Goodness. Now what initially happens is the boy focuses all his efforts on just balancing the 2 drops of oil on the spoon, right, that he completely misses the beautiful garden. Well, I mean, he did the job, but he missed out on all the pleasure. He missed out on all the fruits of labor, do you understand? Well, on the contrary, most men, what I find is they are completely infatuated with the garden, that the oil is completely gone, right? They have not balanced it. So what we want to do is we want to balance both. We want to be able to have those 2 drops of oil on the spoon while walking around the garden, but while walking around the garden, while noticing it, while enjoying the beauty. Do you understand? There's nothing wrong with short-term pleasures, guys. I need to make that very clear. Some people on YouTube, and maybe even I've made videos on this, we are human, and as instinctual beings, we move towards pleasure. Pleasure's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with drinking. There's nothing wrong with these vices in and of themselves, in my opinion. But do you have something greater you can come back to? And if you do, then you're fine. If you don't, well then yes, they can be horrible. But so can anything. And finally, guys, the third thing that I believe all high value men do is lift others up. Now I'll give you guys an example that actually just happened literally like 10 minutes ago. I was working out at my buddy's house, as I do every single day, and I have a buddy, Jesse, who comes here and there, and Phil's my best friend. Phil and I give Jesse shit sometimes because he's not lazy, but just sometimes, you know, Phil and I are very like type A, just get it done, shut up, like, why are you talking to me, like, let's just, you know, I have things to do. And Jesse kind of just like, you know, he kind of just like lingers sometimes. And if he's watching this, you know, we love him. And so there was a little bit of pushing and resentment today. You know, I just wanted to get home, film these videos. I went for a walk after my workout and I just wanted to get home. And that's when he started working out. And it just happened to be that he finished right at the same time. I could tell he needed a ride home. I didn't need to give him a ride home. It would be about like a half an hour, 40-minute walk for him, which he was okay with. Because, you know, I just want to do the next thing. I don't want to keep wasting time as far as this, but I knew it was the right thing to give him a ride home, so I did. Now, this video is not about me or to give me a fucking high five or anything. It's just to lift others up, man. It's to do what's best objectively for your family and for society. And I don't mean you have to save anyone's life. I'm not talking about anything extreme. I just mean putting aside your short-term pleasures, and really ego is all it is. It's ego. For the benefit of others. Because does it cost me much? No, it's a 3-minute drive for me, and for him maybe it's a half an hour walk, right? The only thing that was speaking up at that point was my ego, and when I began to drop that ego, look, does it matter? No. And in fact, it can help me with this video. Do you see how I love that life usually works in that way. When you essentially shoot yourself in the foot for the greater good of other individuals, even if it's as simple as like holding a door open for an old lady, life blesses you. I don't know how it does, but it just does. And the reason it blessed me is I now have this tip. I didn't even know I was going to speak of this tip. I knew it was bringing others up, but I didn't know I would relate it to this example. And again, this video is not about me by any means. I just, you know, it's what comes to mind. So anyways, guys, that is it. Those are the 3 things I believe all high value men do, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And as final plugs, guys, I will finish it here. If you would like to work with me, there is always one-on-one coaching, guys. We have clients rolling in. There is group coaching, which is the workshop, as well, guys, as the self-development course. All there to improve your fitness, business, relationships, and mindset, guys, all right? There's a 100% money-back guarantee if not satisfied. The hundreds, if not thousands of clients have all been blown away. There's a voice crack. Thank you, guys. Have an amazing day. You can support the channel, pick up Edge, bang, coupon code. This is their black cutoff tank. Let's go. I love you all. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, and let's do it, okay? Thanks.